right, welcome back to the Miami-Dade Chamber of Commerce Member Connection, where we bring in our members and we connect. And, the main thing that we do is help Black businesses, minorities, and women businesses grow. And I couldn't be more excited. I'm excited, but this guest that we have today, as they say, the creme of the creme de la creme, Miss Jessica Modkins. How are you?
I am doing well. Thank you, Eric, for inviting me.
Oh, absolutely. Hip rock star, Jessica Modkins, Roy Modkins, you guys are just all over the place doing amazing things.
Thank you. Thank you for that.
You've been a part of the chamber for many years. You are our marketing guru. All things that we do, pretty much, it's got hip rock star stamped all over it. Whether it's our symposium and business leaders lunch, our women's business council, Little Black Dress and Pearls, our golf tournament that's coming up in October, and obviously our gala that we do in December, our largest, probably one of the, if not the largest, Black social event in South Florida. And now we have this new event, thanks to you and Roy and the work that you're doing down in South Dade. We talk about it, we joke about it, and sometimes we get a little angry about it, because Dade County is so big.
It is.
And I know, you are a South Dade girl, Richmond Heights, and you made sure that we paid attention. And it's something we've been wanting to do over the years, but just didn't have the bandwidth. And now that you and Roy stepped up to chair the South Dade committee of the chamber, we've been doing a lot. You want to talk about some of those things that we've been doing, and then we'll get into this new venture.
Okay, sure. South Dade, as you said, is where I'm from, and a lot of my business takes me to North Dade. Mm-hmm. And I hear the conversations about, let's do it in Miami Gardens or Overtown or Opelika. And I feel like I'm always that one, well, I used to, thinking to myself, well, what about South Dade? So then I just began to speak up about it.
Right.
How can we take this to Richmond Heights or just all of South Dade? And then I said to myself, stop asking for people to do it and just do it. Sometimes when God places something on your heart, it's not necessarily for you to vent to other people about it. It's for you to take action.
Right.
And so as a result, that's how we began talking about it. And here we are a little over 1 year later since we began your South Dade branch of the chamber, as we like to call it. I believe we're more than a committee just because of just the makeup of it. But we began in, I believe it was spring of last year.
Right.
And we're just happy to continue to try to pour into those South Dade businesses. You as a chamber have been offering numerous resources, just a myriad amount of educational growth for all small business owners. And I knew that there were other small businesses that needed the same information, and they just weren't, in their mind, afforded that opportunity. And so we wanted to change it. You've been in business changing the trajectory of Black businesses since 1971. How don't the businesses in South Dade understand that you are there to be a pillar in all of our fundamental success? And I know how successful you can be by being a member of the chamber. So it was because of that I said,
right,
we need to do something about this.
And it's important what you just said, being a member of the chamber and how important it is. But the key thing that you said is that, you could keep talking about what's not happening, or you can step up and be a part and make it happen. And that's the one thing about being a part of a chamber. Whatever chamber you make a decision to be a part of, a lot of people as I always say, they join a chamber and they expect manna to fall from the sky,
Right.
and it doesn't work that way.
No.
It works by being engaged.
Work it. You have to work it.
Absolutely.
You get out of it what you put into it.
Absolutely.
You have member connections every Tuesday. Are people logging in at 4 p.m. virtually? You
Right.
can be in South Dade or North Dade or wherever you are traveling for business. Are you tuning into that? You offer monthly events, and now we've started doing the same thing, mirroring what you're doing in South Dade to just make sure that businesses feel like they're connected. A lot of things that happen aren't always implemented by you.
Right.
Because there's something that happens when we join together and have the conversations and have those unique just offerings that I can give to a business as well as they can give to me. It's the networking aspect of
Absolutely.
it that you're able to grow as well.
Another good point that you make is it's not always the chamber that's at the forefront, but we join forces with other organizations to push that narrative out to our community. Because again, we're not there to be all things to everybody,
Right.
but as I say, we're always out there connecting the dots.
Yes.
And so we're going to be going on a break in a little bit, and I don't want to go into the exciting things that are coming up yet, but tell folks a little bit about Hip Rockstar. How long you been around?
Well, we went through a name change, and we actually started in Atlanta, Georgia in 2007.
Okay.
But here in Florida, when we moved here, we dismantled the company in Georgia, started it over here in Florida, and so we've been in business here. This is our 10th year.
Okay.
And in 2014, we made a mental note to say we're only going to work with businesses that are doing good for society. I had launched and been influential with a number of different spirit brands, cigarette companies, and I would stay up late at night when I'm getting all these creative ideas to break through the clutter, and at that time it was my BlackBerry, and I'm putting stuff into my BlackBerry.
Right.
And I said, you know what, I have little kids and a lot of responsibility if I'm going to be using this extra, not extra time, but pulling from my family.
Right.
It has to be for something bigger than me.
Right. And that's interesting. Actually, that's when I started with the chamber 10 years ago. Next year makes 10 years. It's been a great, exciting 10 years. And I must say that you've been a big part of that because we have grown quite vigorously between staff that we have and between our bottom line, as they say, being in the black. We have grown, and again, a lot of that has to do with you and us joining forces. You become a member of the chamber, and you give so much to the chamber. So that's
Thank
one
you.
thing I definitely want to say. You give up your time, although we do business together, but also you give back in such a tremendous way. And then when we come back, we're going to take a break in a little bit. But we're going to come back and talk about some of those ways that you are giving back.
Awesome.
And it's an exciting thing that is coming up September 30th. I'm not going to give it up yet, so stay tuned. September 30th. It's going to be down south. This is the South Dade branch of the Miami-Dade Chamber. And so we got something exciting coming up on September 30th. So don't go away. We'll be right back after this commercial.
Learn and earn today at Miami-Dade College. College graduates earn 56% more than high school graduates and $1 million more in lifetime earnings. A degree from MDC is your path to greater earning power and career success. Choose from hundreds of affordable high-tech and in-demand career programs, including cybersecurity, artificial intelligence, business, and nursing. Learn and earn today at MDC and fast-track your career. Enroll now at mdc.edu/purpose.
And welcome back to the Miami-Dade Chamber Member Connection. I'm your host, Eric Knowles, and I'm still excited when I'm around this young lady. We're talking about exciting things and how we're propelling our community forward. So I have Miss Jessica Modkins of Hip Rockstar.
Yes.
And before we took a break, we kind of give a little hint that we got some exciting things coming up. So on September 30th, what's happening?
On September the 30th, it is Run It Back. It's
Run
a
It Back.
5K run walk at Zoo Miami.
Oh, right.
Yes, so people will have an opportunity to run or walk through the zoo.
Oh, wow.
Whoever thought of such a thing? I
Right.
think that's great. You're
No,
running
that's
past
exciting.
the chimps and the lions and the elephants
Lions
and
and
my
tigers and
favorite, the
bears.
giraffes. Yes.
Right.
So everyone will have an opportunity to run through. We have the biggest race management company in Miami-Dade County who is timing us, and it's Go Run Miami.
Okay.
We have the fabulous, the illustrious, the phenomenal Mayor Daniela Levine Cava, who is
Okay.
serving as our grand marshal for the event. Cox Media is on board. They will be doing prizes. They will be doing a live remote. And the assistant program director for WEDR 99 Jams, DJ Nasty, will be on the ones and twos.
Okay.
Yeah, so we are excited. We are very excited about this. And the Historic Society is also celebrating its 10th year.
Historic Society. Tell me a little bit about the Historic Society.
So the Historic Society began because basically my mother said that the history of Black Miamians was being erased.
Okay.
And she told me that we needed to begin documenting the history. And who can tell your mom no? I did. I tried.
And that lasted about 10 seconds.
I tried to say no.
Say, Mom, I got too much
yes,
going
I have
on.
too much
Mom,
going
you know,
on.
yeah.
Yes, but I had to say yes. And
Yeah.
as a result, we've written a book, Images of America, Miami's Richmond Heights. We did a companion documentary for that, and that was released in 2017. We most recently did another documentary, and in this documentary, it didn't just go into the history of Richmond Heights, it delved into what we coined as the ancestors' wildest dreams, and those are their grandchildren.
Right.
So the Richmond Heights began in 1949 during Jim Crow. Black World War II veterans were offered the opportunity to use their GI Bill to purchase homes. As a result, you may imagine that those folks, they wanted their grandchildren to do better than them. They wanted their
Absolutely.
grandchildren to go off and do great things. Well, this second documentary, which is currently streaming on Crackle, Plex, LG, Redbox, everywhere for free, it is delves into the lives of those grandchildren of the original World War II veterans. So we have the Stirrup Sisters, who you know, their grandfather was one of the founders for Coconut Grove.
Right.
They are inventors. We also have the vice president of the Miami, I'm sorry, not the Miami Heat, but she actually started out with the Miami Heat as a ball girl, Melissa McGee,
Okay.
who actually is the VP for the Atlanta Hawks.
Okay.
Richmond Heights, her story is being told. We have a NASA scientist, his story is being told. So we delved into the grandchildren of those World War II veterans. And so the Historic Society, we are preserving this history. We're currently working on 2 other documentaries, not at liberty to talk about them
Okay.
yet,
Okay.
but yes, the Historic Society is here, and we understand that history is being lost. How important is it now for what we began
For us
10
to tell
years
our own
ago?
stories.
Absolutely.
No, that's beautiful. Now, going back to the run, 5K, Run It Back, what time?
It starts at 7 a.m. registration, or if you didn't get to register, it will begin at 6:30 a.m.
And how do they get in touch? How do they find out about it?
They
Besides
can-
going on the chamber website?
Yes, they can go to the chamber website, click events, scroll down, you'll see Run It Back, hit register.
Okay.
Simple as that.
So, hip rock star, 14 years old, 10 years old. I'm thinking 2024.
Yeah.
Tell us about some of those other exciting. I know you've won awards over the years.
Yes.
You've won grants over the years.
Yes,
You've just been putting in the work. And again, putting in the work, what does that mean?
Well, it means that you sacrifice a lot, but in the end, if you yield the results of change, then it's okay. And so what we've done is I actually pull in our kids. I have to,
Well,
because
yeah,
we spend so much time working that I want them to see it firsthand. Right now, one of our clients is FP&L, and we're working with them on their Be Powerful campaign, and actually the Chamber is a part of that.
Right.
And with that, we have 4 web series, educational opportunities for small business owners to understand certification, where to go to get the money, the 101s of business, and that is an awesome program. We have a number of different government agencies that we're working with to continue to tell their constituents and stakeholders about the things that they're offering. Many of it has a lot to do with small businesses. We have the Dolphins
Okay.
and F1.
As a matter of fact, actually a little bird dropped the word in my ear.
Okay.
And I meant to call you about that.
Yes. So we're happy to have that contract continuing.
Yeah.
Let's see, what else?
And I would say that's between us having that conversation
Yes.
and,
Yeah, the chamber matters.
Exactly.
The chamber matters.
Yeah.
It really does.
And I want to say this is important because, the Dolphins have been a great supporter of the community, but then we lost a person who
absolutely
really
did.
fought for the community and making sure that the black business community was engaged with the Dolphins. And, that person, Jason Jenkins, who did so much in our community, and he passed away last year. And, we basically kind of lost touch. And a lot of the opportunities, the connections that were there basically dropped off to a certain degree. And obviously, my relationship with the Dolphins, I was able to sit down and say, we have some concerns, and they addressed the concerns.
Yes.
And so I'm so glad to know that you are still there and doing things. Talk about what it is that you do. We only have a couple minutes left. People, we're talking about these great things that you're doing, but what is it exactly that Hip Rockstar does?
I feel so much like Will Smith in the movie Hitch, when he talks about he's a marketing consultant. And there people are like, what is a marketing consultant? What is that? So we handle everything that a small business or business would need to interface with their customers. So we manage social media accounts. We create graphics. We create short reels. We create websites. We create commercials, opportunities like intercepts, where we gather the surveys that you need to make those important decisions. We create your radio commercials, place the radio buys. So it's all of the different things that you can think of to amplify your brand and allow your brand to reach your potential customer and continue to engage with your current customer.
And you do it so very well. Like I said, we as a chamber have engaged with you pretty much from me stepping in as the president. And, our gala, it's one of those things that is just attended by everybody in our community. And, and that's one thing I say, even though we are the Black Chamber, we're a very inclusive chamber.
Yes.
Our members are Hispanic, they're from the Caribbean, they're of all walks of life, and that gala is a reflection of that. It's such an exciting event. So as I mentioned, we have the gala coming up, we have Run It Back, and we have our golf tournament, and we're running out of time. How do they get in touch with you?
On all platforms at Hip Rockstar, and for personal at Jessica Modkins on all platforms.
You got that, right? All platforms, Hip Rockstar, at Hip Rockstar. I like that. So you don't have to be figuring out what it's hip_rockstar.
Yeah, it's the same.
And so,
But that's what we do. That's what we do as a marketing agency.
Exactly.
We make it easy.
And so if you want to know more about the chamber, go to 305-751-8648. That's call 305-751-8648 or m-dcc.org. This has been the Miami-Dade Chamber Member Connection. Thank you for tuning in.